Governor Ron DeSantis and Surgeon General in Florida, Joseph Ladapo, announcing the state of Florida is planning to end all mandates requiring vaccines for children and adults in the state. And it is the first U.S. state to make such a move. All U.S. states currently have vaccine mandates for children.
Governor DeSantis also announcing he's creating a state-level Make America Healthy Again commission. That might sound similar. Of course, that's something that had been proposed by Health Secretary RFK Jr. With that, let's welcome in Dr. Joseph Ladapo, the Florida Surgeon General. Doctor, welcome, and thanks so much for coming on. This is really an historic move by Florida. It's the first of its kind. Can you walk us through what went into this decision?
Yeah, good morning. And I would say that, what went into this decision is a pattern here in Florida. You dial the clock back 5 years ago when Governor DeSantis was first starting to tangle with opposition in the COVID-19 pandemic. And he had positions that were very unpopular. But in retrospect, it's very clear that they were the correct positions in terms of minimizing lockdowns, getting kids back into school, doing away with the ridiculous masking of children that, if you remember, was prevalent throughout the country. And here we are again at another juncture where we have, we're making a statement about the fact that ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, for the benefit of all of us, it is much better for parents to be the ones to decide what vaccines their children accept. And rather than the government forcing parents to make decisions about, or actually really taking away the ability to make a decision about what goes into their children's bodies. However you feel about the impact of that, whatever you believe, that is a much better place for us to be as a country that values freedom as part of our sustainability.
Well, you can't make a decision like that without, obviously, criticism. I know that you've seen it online. You've seen it on the cable news shows. I wanted to show you one. This is U.S. Senator from Kansas, Roger Marshall. He was on this program, National Report, yesterday. He's directly involved with the MAHA initiative. We talked about your decision there, the governor's decision in Florida, ending the vaccine mandates for children. And here was his response.
Look, I think that's a bridge too far. I believe in empowering local school boards with the information, the transparency, and the trust to make those decisions. And I just don't. I think that, again, that's too far. Again, these vaccines like the MMR vaccine, polio, those serve way beyond just the children they're protecting. It's protecting the entire community as well. But certainly, I'm not in favor of any type of a mandate for a COVID vaccine, mRNA technology as well. Not every person needs every vaccine, but I think there's some very reasonable ones out there.
So again, a bridge too far were the words used from the senator. Can you address that?
Yeah, and I've never met that senator. I don't know him, and I don't mean this in a critical way because a lot of people were having difficulty kind of wrapping these concepts around in their mind. But he wants to have his cake and eat it. So he's saying that public schools should be the ones to make these decisions, but not with the COVID-19 vaccine. In that case, you can't mandate it. No, it's an inconsistent position, and it's frankly an illogical position. Again, I don't mean to be critical because a lot of people have had the same issue. But guys, it's very simple. No, he's saying that public schools and should be able to make those decisions. And I guess if you believe that, that's fine. But I think it's much better for parents and much more appropriate for parents who know their children to be the ones to make those decisions. I mean, you can't be like into mandates for some of the vaccines, but then say that, well, for this one, I think that no one should be mandating it. It's an inconsistent position. Ultimately, we are human beings with human bodies that are, that are gifts from God. I mean, we have to be able to control what vaccines or medications we put into our bodies. And it's a very simple position, and it's also a very simple truth.
All right. Interesting to hear these perspectives. As we know, the 50-state experiment here continues on, and we'll be watching to see what comes from Florida. Dr. Ladapo, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We appreciate your perspective.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.